Okay, we're going to limber up with some open string exercises here. This is a very basic exercise, but you can get your right hand warmed up very quickly, limbered up very quickly. I'm just going to go through each right hand fingering. I won't do the repeats just for time's sake here, so I can show you all of the fingerings. So I'll start with the standard fingerings. I, M, and the reverse, I, A, and the reverse, and M, A, and the reverse. So there was I and M. Now I am planting my thumb on the third string. You can do that if you want to. It's not. Isn't necessarily required to do that. But okay. So I just did I and M free stroke. So you can do that rest stroke as well. So now I'll do I and A. And then M and A. Okay, and so you can do the reverse of all of those, and you can also do that as rest stroke. So now I'm going to look at the non-standard fingerings. So by non-standard I mean including the thumb and the pinky. So here's the first non-standard fingering. It's P and I. And then P and M. P and A. P and C, which is the pinky. So that's the kind of thumb group there. And now I'm going to do the pinky group. So I and P, I and C. And then M and C. And A and C. There you go. So if you do that, you've practiced every single possible pair of fingers there, including the thumb. So you've done, if you put each finger into a pair, you've practiced all of them. So it's a great way to warm up the right hand. You can use a metronome to keep your tempo even. Use a mirror to check your technique. Right now I have the camera on, so I can see my hand, and I always practice with a mirror. Ensure your tone is even between each finger. That's a little bit easier for the standard fingerings, but once you start using your thumb and pinky, that gets a lot more difficult to maintain a consistent tone between your thumb and your finger. It's quite important to do that. You don't want them to be exactly the same, but you don't want them to be drastically different as well. Obviously the thumb has, just by its nature being a bigger digit, has a different kind of sound to it, but you don't want them to sound like drastically different to one another. So practice with dynamics. So this is another thing you can add. You can do, if I'll just do I and M, and you can just do a crescendo, for example, starting really soft, getting louder each note, and then doing that again for the 8th notes, and then for the 16th notes. You can also do decrescendo as well. And finally, use free stroke and rest stroke. I mentioned that at the start, so you can do, I'll just do I and M again, so you can do that with the rest stroke. So once you do all of that, you've practiced it with the metronome in an even tempo, you've used the mirror to check your technique, make sure there isn't anything funny happening. Ensure that your tone is beautiful and even between each finger and the thumb. Practice with dynamics, and you've used rest stroke and free stroke, then you've done a lot there in a pretty short amount of time. So this is about 7 minutes now, this video, and that's including me talking and everything. So it should take you about somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes to limber up the right hand. Hope you enjoy and have fun. Get your playing on fire.